everyone. We are back with more Warhammer model painting and more painting videos for you all. I'm sorry that this video got started a little bit on the later side tonight. We're back working on some more of the 40k orcs. I do promise that we will have... I'll try to take a break halfway through this painting session, and we'll do some fantasy stuff, because I gave like 2 parts to 40k and doing those types of paints. And again, sorry that I missed the 10 o'clock mark. It was a tough night. We were a little bit backed up, so I hope I didn't lose my audience. I promise that tomorrow we will be more punctual and on time, coming at you with essentially a I'm going to be doing some more of our custom campaign models from Lorecom Miniatures. I definitely want to get more of those painted up, so without further ado, let's jump right into the painting project. And like I said, I hope you guys come along for the ride, and I hope you guys are still here. Sorry that I had to take some time to take care of something. You know, like I say all the time on these videos, I'd love to do this on a more full-time basis for you all, but still not able to just do this exclusively yet. So I am doing these videos when I have free time and at the time I can spare, so that can always be crazy. But we're continuing our paint on our 40k orcs. My goal is to get this whole faction painted, and actually get all of my 40k orc army done, so I can make it nice and uniformed and stay on task with it. But we're getting into the finer details on this big gentleman here in his superior mech suit. And what I'm really focusing on now is a little bit more of, you know, just getting certain things to my liking, and trying to pull out some of the grays and the colors. We're gonna start working on the gun and a few other parts today. My hope is with this session we can get him wrapped up, which I have confidence we can. But like I said, if you guys like what you see and want to see more, do not forget to subscribe. Follow, excuse me. So you will know when we are back on. And also, you can, if you follow, you can tune in to the other painting nights we have, where I paint Marvel Crisis Protocol models, and then my indie showcase, where I, showcase some indie model companies that are doing, different terrain and models that I am planning on using in some other really amazing projects, which I will start to share some of those with you guys. And then this week will mark the first week that we'll actually do a live art stream too. So if you guys want to see my original comic artwork and such, definitely following us is the thing to do, because my goal is on Friday to rock that out, now that I fixed and solved all of my broadcast issues with that and figured out exactly what I'm going to be needing to do to get that for you guys. So, and for folks that are not familiar with GW's paints, I'm using Griffin Charger Gray right now. And the idea of using this is I just wanted to do the barrels of the gun, and then I'm going to more than likely probably do some color in the rest of the gun, but I wanted to get those front barrels painted with the Charger Gray, and then I'm going to jump into a few other things. So, actually, you know what I think we're going to paint tonight? I think we're going to do him, and then if I get to the point where he is looking rather nice. I'm probably going to go, maybe we'll do some Blood Bowl models so that we'll get that fantasy itch out of me as well. But at the same time, I'll get yeah, it's always interesting and tough. I was saying this last session when we were painting. It's always hard with the 40k models with the armor because I feel like I always start off with one plan, and then as I'm painting the model, other factors take over. And then I find myself, you know, looking at other details or painting something, and then all of a sudden, when I'm looking at the model I'm painting, I'll repaint a detail, or I'll paint a part of armor, and then I'm like, ooh, I did that on this side. Like, now I have to like trace where that armor goes, and I have to figure out like how I want to do the rest of it. And I always feel like, not that I'm second guessing myself because that's the wrong word, but I'm definitely like trying to figure out on the model like where or how where or how I want certain things to look or do. And like, you guys have probably noticed I painted all these other areas, but I haven't painted that very, very bottom form yet. I don't know how I want to paint it yet. So like now, I'm going over some of these like bolt details. But I still don't know what I want to do for the feet pieces. Like I'm trying to figure out, and then it's hard to see in here, but it's kind of crazy. There are actually parts of him. There are some skin parts that are actually nestled in there. So I have to like figure that out. So there's just like a lot. I mean, it's a beautiful model. Like, for anyone that's an Ork player, a 40k Ork player, he is a super awesome general, and he's a good unit on the board too. So it's not just that, he's a good, it's like a nice looking model. He's actually a beast on the table. He's got some really crazy rules, and definitely a good addition to your force. But he does pose some painting challenges in the sense that there's just a lot going on the model. So I have to like figure out which way I want to go with certain things. Probably going to do that cable in black, but so you guys are going to see me doing a lot of that because I'm trying to figure out like the best mix for this. And again, I say it a lot, but I'd love to hear what you guys are painting, what you guys are thinking about in the Games Workshop universe. Is there like some models out there that you're looking really forward to? Like, are you somebody who looks at Warhammer Community a lot, and you saw some of the like things coming down the pike and you were like, "Ooh, that looks really cool"? Like, I know for me, on Warhammer Community, the dragons for the Stormcast Eternals are like super on my list. Like, hands down. Like, I want those models so bad. Because again, I love that GW is still on this like kick with you know, making larger creature models. If anything else, they're just really, I mean, I play Stormcast Eternals in Age of Sigmar, so I mean, ooh, really? All right, well, you know what? We're gonna keep that. That's gonna look, you know, let's go all in. Let's go all in with the blood. Let's get some blood effects on there. I'm okay with him having some blood. He's an orc. He fights people. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do some blood effects. I wasn't going to do that now, but you guys will notice that for me, a lot of times, some of the stuff I do on my model is, I call it happy accidents. I'm a huge believer in happy accidents. Alright, I think what we're going to do, I've decided for this, is I'm going to do one section yellow and one section black. Yeah, we'll just keep that color scheme going throughout. The idea that it's sort of like checkered and like alternating colors, because that like looks cool, and then that'll... Because the more that I get painted on here and the less white we see as we're painting it, the better the model's gonna look. But yeah, I'll do one leg all in. I'll do one leg all in yellow, and I'll do another leg all in black. And then that kind of goes with the whole... Yeah, I'm going to have to go over that with the gray again once it dries. So you can see, once I get that boot done, it's really starting to come together very nicely. There's definitely some more details that I have to get in here, but we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. And again, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor for this video, Undiscovered Realms. Again, without them, I would not have any of the 40k models that I am showing off today. And I wouldn't have any of my painting supplies. They are the folks that, you know, really do hook me up and get me the stuff I need. You can see a link down below for them. Check them out. They do orders anywhere in the United States. They do not only 40k, but Marvel Crisis Protocol, other tabletop games, supplies, and they do a lot of collectible card games as well. So if you guys have seen me unbox Magic or other games out there, that is where most of that stuff came from. And like I said, if you can please check them out and support them, they are super duper awesome guys. And you know, I said it a lot in some of the other streams, but you know, really supporting these local businesses, you know, your local hobby shops or other hobby shops in your area, really keeps them afloat and gets them going. So if you could give them some love, again, really want to shout out the guys there. They're awesome. And you know, what I love about them is that you know, I'll be fair and honest, they hook me up, definitely. You know, many times if I didn't have those guys there, there are certain models and things that have come out that I would have very much not have gotten on time, because in this day and age, there's a lot of allocations that they have now, GW, when it comes to model building, when it comes to their models and different even supplies. So without them constantly staying on top with me and letting me know when I can get stuff, I would definitely not have a lot of the things that I am able to review for you guys. Because it's a crazy world out there, you know, with all of the shortages that we've all, I'm sure, either faced ourselves or been hearing about. It has definitely made activities like hobbying and other stuff extremely harder for the folks out there like myself that are, you know, that play these things and are, you know, commission painters or whatever, you know. I've had multiple jobs that I've done actually have to be postponed and take me so much longer because I had to wait for parts, or I had to wait for other things, or yeah, it was super like crazy. But I 100% have had, you know, commission projects where I couldn't do. I had one recently where the person wanted, you know, I wanted to do some like basing stuff on it, and yeah, I had to just not do it because I couldn't get the basing material. I couldn't get skulls for bases. I couldn't get like tufts and some of the other stuff that like I wanted to do on it. I had to just abort it and, you know, do some, I hate to say it, but very average, not like super average bases, but definitely like less than what I would have liked to have done for that particular client. You know, I definitely gave him a more elevated paint job on a lot of the units, so like it made up for it, but sorry guys, I saw a part of the. Yeah, it's hard because he's a very dynamic model. So to get to some of the areas that you have to paint, and I always get nervous with black. Black is the color I always like cringe when I have to do it because the Templar black that I'm using from the contrast line is so super dark that if you get it on anything else that, like, you know, you did not intend to be black, it is such a pain in the butt to correct. So I'm doing like everything in my power to not get it on stuff that I do not want to see be the black color. And I love that you guys are joining us. Thank you for being a part of the stream and being with us. And like I said, please do not hesitate to jump up and, you know, let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what your I love knowing what people are painting on their painting table. Like, that's one of my favorite. You know, I love hearing about the projects you guys are doing. And I've said it on other streams. I love also, you know, if you guys have questions, you know, I love, one of the things I love about doing streaming is I love answering people's questions and helping them out with projects they're working on or stuff that they're doing. It's always a ton of fun. And I feel blessed because there's definitely been a few streams here or there where I've given people, you know, some guidance or direction on how they're doing stuff, and it's been a lot of fun. You know, when it comes to that stuff, it could be even, you know, I've helped people with what's the best, like, units to go in for or army to try out. You know, what's the best way to get started in painting. I've had all of those moments on stream, and they've been awesome. Because I've said it before, you know, like, for a lot of us, it could be really, like, it could be super, super, it could be super, super hard. It could be super, super hard to get started, especially out there when you're looking at, you know, when you're looking at, sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out a way to show you the angle, but it's hard because there's a lot of, like, close quarters in there, and I'm trying to give you guys a front row seat on what I'm doing, but yeah, there's just a lot of crevices in there, and I have to twist the model in a way that allows me to get in there. And sometimes what gets confusing as you're working on a model like this is you're looking at it from, like, a different angle, and you see, like, a white or a streak on it, and you don't know exactly where that's from. And you have to sort of go back and figure it out. Most of the time it's pretty easy, but I'm just looking while I have the black out. Is there any other, like, are there any other, like, places where I, like, didn't paint an edge of an armor or didn't paint an edge of something? And I'm finding a few places. Not many, but a few. Oh, we're gonna have to put white on that little item now. Like I said before, I hate black is so hard because it's so dark. So we got to see where I want to go with this. Before I go that way, see, this is what I mean. With armor, this is the little like, just the little like craziness you have to do. Because now, like, I just realized, because I did one area on the front. So now this area has to be that Griffin Charger Gray. Because that's a continuation of the thing that I painted on the front part that went back in here. And then his skin is actually over there. Because I have to continue that color from one front part to the other. And this is what I mean by I get myself into a little bit of trouble. Okay, so... Oh, that's got to be black too. Okay, but this is good because what it's doing is... It's forcing me to now make some color decisions and choices for areas that I was like a little on the fence about. So now I can that's why I bought more of these brushes, because yeah, they're starting to, this is starting to get to the point where this is hardly getting any paint on it anymore. I hate when the brush gets to this point. Yeah, I think this brush just got killed. These smaller brushes, like, I love them, but maybe I'm just making up stuff. Here, let's do this. Let's put a little bit of water. I know, I'm still getting a pretty good result out of it. Okay. Alright, yeah, like I said, some of this is being made up just because it's making it easy for me to pick what I want to do, because well, once I have once I have the Space Wolf gray on there, it's just you kind of have to go with the other gray to throw it off because of the color value, because you want it to play off the right way. So I'm just kind of like working through what I see to kind of be like, because then if we're going to work through that, then that starts to go and bleed into other areas. So it's like, but yeah, so now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of it, where we're getting into some of the detail. And I do expect this model, I mean, my goal is to try to finish it tonight, but I don't know if that's going to be true, because the reality is that, you know, he's a pretty detailed model. So, you know, we have cabling, we have all kinds of other details in here, and I am still trying to figure out, like, where and what, you know, what details do I want to have a certain way. And so I'm like still trying to like work through the model and get a sense of like where I want to go. Yeah, so he is probably going to take a little bit of time. Now for the gun. Yeah, let's do old school. I'm going to do old school orc for that. Sorry, guys, I'm down a... Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's just a lot of details on this. So, like... As much as I want to just, like, blast through this, you really can't, because... I mean, you got a ton of, like, little, tiny, cool details on here. Oh. So, I don't want to, like, rush it and, like... Alright, this brush is getting me in trouble a little bit. Again, I like using this brush when I'm doing what I'm doing, because it's a big flat brush. So with the contrast paints, what that usually translates into is you get a nice even tone. And when I'm doing the you know, armor or gun pieces, I like using a brush like this, because then I don't have a lot of... It doesn't really pool on me like it just did there, and I can control it so I get a nice slick tone. Alright, see, there's like so much in here. Well, again, I'm trying to... I'm going to get my smaller brush in there. I want to do something fun with that. But I already like that gun part to be yellow. I think that looks really cool. And again, I was just... going for extremely... So I'm trying to get... I mean, he looks so orky. I just love... But I have so much more detail to try to figure out in here that it's going to be intriguing. It's not going to be a 2-second paint job by any stretch. That's crazy. The jumping sound in my in the song I'm listening to just made me actually jump. Yeah, so there's some areas on this. I'm just... So it's definitely like some sort of pants or... Yeah, it's really hard. But it's definitely some sort of pants. I don't think that was stitches on his actual skin. I think there are breaks in the pants where you can where you do see his skin through. But I don't think there were actual. It's so hard to get inside of there. Holy crap. It is super hard to get in there. Right, let's see if we can get in there. Oof, that was a tough angle to get in there, guys. Oh my god, was that tough. Like I said, there's just a lot of really crazy details on this model that we have to keep going after, and you know, it is just not easy. Now that's actual orc flesh, this part there. So that's him. That's his muscular body. So that's gonna be the plague green, because I like using this. The plague bearer green I love using for orcs, and then I like coming in with a secondary color. I like this as the main tone for the orc. I like lighter orcs. I like lighter skinned orcs. But yeah, there's just some really tight, sort of extreme angles on this model. That I have to figure out, because it's pretty bad. Because you just see peekings of his skin, so you see a little bit of peek in there. So I have to get in there, but the angles that you could see it at are just so severe. And this is this goes back to something I say a lot about models. I don't like assembly painting models, because I think it's kind of, especially with some of the 40k models, I'm not totally down for that, because I feel like you paint a lot of unneeded areas and you waste a lot of paint. Because there are some 40k models where you know, they'll put a tiny, I mean, now I'm going to talk from I'm going to talk from an orc standpoint, but they'll put like a tiny grot inside of a car. And you literally could just see like the head of the grot, or it could be even like more obscene. Like you might only see the like a little bit of the eyes. And it's like, why would I waste the time painting this entire grot when I'm literally going to see like not even a quarter of his body? So what I'm doing now is I'm just like really loading this paintbrush so I can just like swing it down inside of these crevices and just get color on those pieces. So when you look at it from most angles, there'll be a nice color on there. And then I'll probably go in and do some shading after that, but my goal is just to go in and just really go crazy to just make sure that whatever the viewer sees you know, they're seeing that orc flesh all painted. And then, like I said, I can go from there and, like, figure out the shading and what shading I need and all that good stuff. But for right now, the name of the game is just, if I see skin, I want to make sure it's painted. That's all I'm trying to do. Because, like I said, this orc, he's like, you know, obviously he's a general in your army, so you want him to look like super duper nicely detailed. So I'm like trying to get him all like blocked out. I mean, we're more than blocking, because I'm starting to do like the actual coloring. Alright, so now that I've kind of decided that if it's like a mechanical actuator or piston, I'm gonna do it in the darker gray, and I'm gonna leave anything that's like on top of it as a lighter gray. I'm just gonna start going to town on those mechanic parts. So I can start getting all of that painted and done up correctly. And then I'm gonna go in here. Sorry guys, I know I'm blocking the camera, but I can't really get that area without going into it. And then if you guys have questions, comments, or any of that great stuff, please do not hesitate to you know, throw up a chat, throw up a hi. I can see the chat. I'm just, you know, may take me a minute to answer, because it's when I take my breaks and look up, because I, you know, as much as I've gotten our setup a lot better lately, it's not all, I'm not 100% where I want to be with it yet. I have a couple of more ideas of how I want to run it, but I will get there once we're getting a little further with a few other things. And then we'll just tie that, since I did that same color. Okay, cool. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to look and see if there's any more like... And I knew there were more, okay. I knew there was a couple of more of the actuators or pistons. I was just trying to find where they were. And then I have to do the Griffin Charger Gray on that, because that, oh no, that isn't. Okay. So now What are our thoughts about this being that Griffin Gray? Yeah, it kind of looks cool. Trying to go to the roof of it. And like I was saying before, you have to be careful with your 40k stuff because, like I was saying in the previous statement, if you start to play with colors and you do like a color change on one side, now you got to get that color change on everything else because you know, you got to follow where your armor goes. Because like in the case of this, my armor, I'm doing this part now. That armor now goes all the way to the back. So now I'm going to have to I like the idea of the armor being two-toned. Sorry guys, I know I'm like flipping the model around like an excessive amount. But there's like some details that are on one side, other details that are not on one side, so I'm like trying to I'm also trying to find where all of like his flesh tone is. So there's like a lot of just interlaid pieces. Because like I said before, I really want to... Oh, jeez. Sorry guys, I'm like desperately trying to clean my like detail brush. There we go. Now my detail brush is back. It's back on its best behavior. It's nice and bristly. Okay, so where did I just see green? Okay. So all of that's got to be green because that's his actual skin. Yeah, like I said, it's a crazy amount of detail that's inside of there. So you got to get all of that stuff. I mean, the majority of him is armor. There's a little tiny piece of him. Yeah, I'm just trying to get all those little crevices. Oh, man. Really? Not only can I see mechanics in there, I could see some of your green skin. Damn it. I messed up. I got green on the black, which is not that big of a deal, but... Alright, so we got... Jesus. Alright, I got to get Griffin Charger Gray inside of there. I got to touch it up on a few other areas, so we're going to do that really quick. Yeah, just to get this guy, like, prepped and blocked out, it's taken me forever, because... armor is just like that, because it's not organic, you know. So you really have to pay attention to, like, where is your armor, what is it doing. You know, you can't mess around. You can't mess around with your armor. You got to really, like, take your time and, like, figure it out. Because I say it all the time, but because you're painting something that is mechanical, you know, you're gonna know right away if it's not working to the way that you want it to. Like, you'll know right away, because it'll like, you'll know. You will know loud and clear if it's working or not, because it'll start to crumble. Whoa, that was bad what just happened, or almost happened. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going in there. Just going in there and, like, looking at where I have different colors so I can touch up. So that needs all yellow. Show you what I'm gonna do with this, guys. I'm gonna play a little bit with my lines. So what you guys will see, it's gonna start to look like, is I'm going to start to put some details into this. I'm also going to put some blood effects on there too, just on the claw, but have some viewers tonight. I love it. What time is it? So you can see we got a nice sheen on that now. Oh, Lord Almighty. Man, this model's a beast. It really is. There's so much more detail that I want to pull out of this. Holy crap. Like, there's just so much more detail. I'm going to be working on him probably for another episode. Jesus, I didn't think I was going to. But the problem is I'm not getting a chance to work on this stuff when I'm not on stream with you guys. I would love to, but it's just been a really rough week. It's been a tough week, actually. Yeah, I like using the... I love using the Griffin Charger for like cement or concrete or other stuff like that. I'm always a big advocate and fan of it. Because it looks really good and it gets into some really nice crevices very well. Oh man, I can see so many imperfections on this model of things I have to like paint and repaint and check out. I'm not trying to be sloppy with the model, or am I trying to like speed paint it or anything like that? But I am trying to like, what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to like get a little better at like just like applying more to less, I guess is the way to put it. Like I'm trying to get like faster at painting larger areas and just coming up with better techniques for the larger areas. Because also I want to, start doing, I want to do a couple of like terrain tutorial videos for you guys on painting terrain and just coming up with like showing you some like quick methods to do terrain, because you want terrain. Obviously we all want, oh, there's a skull in there. Everybody wants their terrain to look good. You want it to look interesting. Because it's going to add a ton of character to your table. That looks kind of cool. I think that was barbed wire in there, so I'm going to have to repaint that. But the nice thing is I can lay, I can lay those metallics on here very easily. And if you guys have been posting anything in the chat, I'm sorry if I'm not looking at it. I'm trying to look up as I go, and it's working out pretty well, but I do miss stuff from time to time. So just bear with me. Give me a little, cut me some slack. Which you guys, my audience is like super, you guys are super awesome about cutting me some slack, because I've been like late on these videos and stuff, and you guys have never like really, got at me for it and never really called me out on it, which I really appreciate that, because I say it at the end of a lot of my videos, but there is reality to when I say, I wish I could do this on a more full-time basis for you all, and how currently right now I am not at that level yet, where I can do it on a full-time basis. And it's true that also I'm not on the level where a ton of companies are sending me stuff for demo. So if you can believe it, everything, I mean, obviously I'm an orc player and I like playing orcs and I like their models, so I am both you know, saying obviously monetary support helps me and helps the channel, but the reality is too that, you know, the models I'm buying, I do buy the models that I like. So, you know, I would be buying these models more than likely. Wow, Jesus, I just messed that up. I would be buying these models more than likely, you know, myself. But I would obviously be able to review a lot more models if I had more monetary support. Because although, you know, I have gotten, and I definitely let you guys know in the comments on the video if a company was nice enough to support or supply me with something, and I have given that for like Mantic Games, things like that, but I am nowhere near or by far on any list for like, you know, GW or some of the larger modeling companies. And honestly, for GW, I mean, like, not to say that they wouldn't sponsor me, but they're not really sponsoring anybody because they want to make their own content. So I mean, like, they are not trying to endorse really independent people from doing their videos or doing videos with their product, you know. They are tolerating some, you know, certain people 100%. But GW is definitely actively trying to, you know, I think definitely is trying to coerce people into their, obviously their streaming, their you know, Warhammer Plus service that has content. And for folks that are not aware, they actually have on some occasions sent cease and desist letters to content creators. Recently, when they did announce and they did start the Plus service. So there are a few people out there. Or a few people that had like channels and stuff, and they had to actually like stop doing their channel because GW came a knocking and was like, "Hey, you know, we're hitting you with cease and desist because we don't want you." You know, they didn't want content to be produced. So, oh my God, we got 4 people watching. Yeah, baby. Hello, everybody. Thanks for watching. We're painting up some 40k Orks right now. Just working on this model. We actually have been working on this is the second installment, so this is roughly just want to pull that. This is roughly where are we at paint wise? This is like 3 hours of painting. that I've done here, and you can already see a lot of like details taking shape. There's definitely more that I have to do, and I have to go through this with a fine-tooth comb, and obviously add some more coloring and highlights and shadows and other stuff. But I do like, again, trying to go for a very old orc look. So a little bit of a dated orc look. I can't say words. A little bit of a dated orc look is the word I keep wanting to say. Yeah, I want these guys to feel like, you know, kind of, if you are a 40k player that's been playing for a while, you know, let's say from the 80s, I want the army to look like it jumped off of a White Dwarf book. So I went for a very like traditional orc paint job, and you know, I'm just blocking out all of the armor pieces right now, and getting you know, a splash of color in there, because I wanted to have color on the backpack. I made the backpack a little bit more gray because I want it to look like essentially he strapped an engine to the back of him. So I'm just bringing that like yellow in there. So there's like some yellow plated pieces and like stuff. So just to bring that motif in. And then obviously we did the checkered effect. I have the checkered effect on the top. I'm going to be putting some more blood. I put some blood on the back, but I'm going to put some other blood effects here. Now we can just do all of that yellow. Just to make it easier, and then I'll make that a metal piece. I'm just going to paint that because I notice there's a break here, and then I'm still trying to figure out where I want to go with the rest of this color. But you can see, as we've now gotten more and more color on the model, I mean, he's looking really, really nice. He's looking really, really good. And I'm sorry, guys. I know I said I was going to get to some fantasy tonight, but it's really my fault because I just came home kind of late tonight and I just didn't have the bandwidth to jump right into painting. I wanted to I just needed to relax for a minute, and now, you know, that's my problem on nights like this. If I do that, then some null oil on the top there, because that is going to help with null oil. Is always a nice touch because then it gives you a little bit of a blacker feel to it. I just wanted to do that to the face because then that traps in some of those features, which is nice. just giving, I was just doing a little bit of null oil on the, yeah, I'll do a couple things to the face that are gonna make it look a lot better. Once I get things a little bit more moving forward. I'm doing now. I'm just trying to get, I just want to get like all of the little pieces painted so I can get things moving forward, because the more of that gets painted, the better the model's gonna look, because you'll see less and less of that white. Yeah, I think I'm losing the crowd. I think we're gonna call it quits after a little bit, because I too am starting to fade. So I can imagine that for some of the folks out there, and I do appreciate the time that you guys spend with me, you may be watching this and trying to get yourself settled for the rest of your day, or getting settled for your work day tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world. I mean, like, I know I do have, and I'm so grateful for this, and I think it's so cool, but I know that I have like a little bit of a following of people who are international, who have found me and are watching me, and I think that is like the super coolest thing on the planet, and I love that. But even myself, I'm starting to wane a little bit, so I think I may call it a quit for tonight. I mean, we've been going for about, I want to get an hour and a half stream, because it's like, I feel like you guys get here, you watch me paint for like a little bit, and then I like run out on you. So I'm gonna, yeah, it's unfortunate that we just have like a lot of oh geez, I never painted that like one thing underneath. That's insane. I have to paint that. I'm sorry that I have to sometimes go so late on these days. It's very tough. I'm gonna have to maybe do some white on that area in the corner there, because that was my fault for not seeing that little detail in there. And then let's get, I mean, he's looking super nice. It's always a challenge when you're doing like these types of models. It always is a little bit of a challenge, because you want to do them, obviously we all want to, you want to paint nice, perfect models. We all want that. But the issue you run into with models like this, yeah, I can tell that I'm starting to get tired, because I'm making a lot of mistakes, and I'm gonna have to go back and fix all of them, and I don't want to do that. I want to work smarter, not I want to work smarter, not harder. Yes, that was exactly what I needed to say. Yeah, I don't want to like keep doing things that are making like more work for me to do. So usually that's, I say it all the time, that's usually my cue for like, it's probably time to stop painting. I mean, what I'm doing now is, I'm doing a lot of like touch-ups because as I'm turning him, I'm seeing like a lot of things that I didn't do right. I mean, but granted, we got a lot of stuff done. Like, this is not like, we shouldn't, first off, let's get this little thing painted. I got to do a lot of detail work with the silver, so I got to bring out all of the like little like bolts and stuff. But what else was I going to paint with this gray? Oh, that has to be painted. This wonderful bolt that I just didn't bother to paint at all. That needed to be that needs to be checked out. I mean, I'll overlay it, but oh, there was going to be the thing on the side. That's what I was painting. I'm like, I knew there was something that like needed to be the space charger, but didn't get painted, and I'm like, what was that? And there it is. So for our second painting part on this guy, I think we did pretty good. I mean, I think it's pretty excellent. Obviously, still need more work. Because I have to do a lot more. It's just a lot of detail. That's where we're getting not bogged down, but it's definitely where I'm finding there's just a lot more to do. So I just gotta like Earth Exo Minis. What does that say? Earth X Wog. Wog to you, sir. I love it. That's right. The Wog is there. The Wog is strong. For a minute, I thought that was like a weird like chat link, and I was like, no, he's like saying things. That's a big orc. Yep. So he is a very, very big orc. This is a general piece. I always forget what his name is. He is meant to be a leader of your force or your army. And Rakthor? He's not Rakthor. What the hell is his name? Chad, help me out. I'm like blanking on his name. I should know his name. Which is like 40k Ork big. Let's see if it let's see if it makes it. Let's see if I get him just by saying that. Oh no. There, he is not the first thing that comes up. I am surprised by that. I am very surprised by that. Oh, there we go. Mega Ork Thraka. There we go. Thank you. I'm like, he's got a long ass name, and I never could pronounce the first part of his name, at all. So. Yeah, baby. There we go. He's got that glint in his eye. He's coming for you. Ah, there it is. The stellar detail on that face. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hello, yeah, Gaz. That's what I know him as, because like I can't ever Gaztraka is usually what I hear. But I hope you guys like the paint so far. I'm assuming yes. Assuming most people like the paint. And again, we went with that traditional checkered orc look. I'm going to do some more of the checkers so you can see there's checkering on there. There's checkering on a few other places. I'm going to do it on a few other places on the model too. The Crafts World Army set seems alright. $300 though. Crafts World. Oh, did they do like a fake version of him? You mean Forge World or Crafts World? He probably means Crafts World, but did they, not a fake version. I don't want to call them fake models because that's the wrong way to say that, but like they did an alternative version of him, I'm guessing. I mean, I got him when they did I got him in the Orc box when they did the newer box of 40k. I split the box. I gave the Ultramarines to a buddy of mine, and I took the Orcs, and I got him in that box. He's now separately sold as a model, but Craft World Elves. Oh yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I know, I always hate to cut it when I get... Well, I was going to say, for folks that are joining me now, not that I'm like going to run out on you, but I'm starting to lose a little steam, so I'm probably going to paint for like another like 10-15 minutes, and then I may call it quits for today. But that does not mean that you have to never see me again. If you guys sign up to follow the channel, I do GW models every Tuesday. It's too much paint on this. It worked for that one because it was bigger. Just trying to get all of his stitches in there. They got some funky hats. I'm sure that they do have some funky hats. And if you guys are Orc players or love Orc stuff, I will be soon unveiling a very cool Gorka Morka project. Because who remembers the fun to be had with Gorka Morka. I will definitely be working on something pretty cool with that. I have to get some additional models from some indie Etsy folks that I know for that project. But yeah, there's so much. Yeah, I'll be doing like detail work on this until the cows come home, because there's all these studs that I have to do as well, and I have to do so much stuff on this model. Ah. Yeah, I gotta do so much work on this model. It's not even funny. All right. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to water down my silver a little bit so I can move it around a little bit easier. I mean, there's a couple of approaches of how to do this. I do my silver details like not the way you're probably supposed to do them. I like to water down the silver a little bit, the lead belcher, and then I just tap the brush onto it. I like doing them that way. Everybody's got a different niche of how they like doing that stuff. The reason I like doing that is because I feel like it goes into the crevices better that way. And I feel like you can get like a nice even, like a more even swirl of it. I really shouldn't be doing small details like this yet, but I am. Because I'm like kind of crazy. But I wanted to start getting his face to pop a little bit, so I kind of went for it. I don't know if you guys think I'm crazy. Maybe you do. But like I said, if you guys want to see more of the content that you're seeing tonight, consider following the channel. You know, become part of our community. Sign up for notifications so you'll know when I'm live. I mean, you could also dry brush your metals, which is usually the way that most people do it. But I don't know, I always learned this technique of like a little bit of like kind of overfilling the brush. I know, I'm getting funky with the silver. I gotta do all the cabling and wiring and all that stuff. part of why I do the wiring, why I do like the silver that way is that because I use the contrast paints, if you water the silver down, you can sometimes get like some really cool effects because the silver is translucent, so it'll lay down like almost like a contrast paint if you get it wet. And then it sort of lays on top of the contrast. So you get like this kind of silvery wash rather than as you can see, that gives this really nice effect that you now have like split wires, which I really, really love that. I love that effect. Because you'll see, like, I know I said I'm gonna like duck out in a minute. But you'll see as I'm ducking out that it's really starting to come together, the model. Like, we're getting some really nice progress with it, to the point where it's not going to take me that long. It's not going to take me that long to get really cool results inside of there. And then you have like this really nice like weathered line effect that we're getting just by using that gray in a nice way. By using the lead in a nice way. So just by that being in there and overlaying on that darker color, you're seeing some really cool effects with it. You know, because it's selling that idea that it's like orc unstable technology. I love that idea that orcs in the future, you know, they're not they're not like the best engineers. So like, their tech, even their psychic abilities are like questionable in the 40k universe. Interesting. No, it's not on my end. I'm going to throw null oil on these as well. But I want to just get them in there and painted. Alright, well, you guys are starting to see some really nice techniques on this model. We did our eye trick and some of the other ideas. Alright, is my stream like... Yeah, it's doing okay. Okay. For a minute, I didn't think the stream was actually like showing you guys the right thing, which I was like concerned. But oh geez, my hairy arm. You guys get hairy arm cam. So yeah, so that is, I think, all we're gonna do for tonight. Because I'm, like I said, my my tank is starting to get a little on the full side. And I thank you guys for watching as always. And if you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider following the channel and signing up for notifications so you know when we are live. There's also, again, my sponsor, Undiscovered Realms. There is a link to them below. So if you want to check out their web store and their stuff, they are a hobby shop, a local hobby shop and gaming store. Without, you know, I say it all the time, but I want a big shout out and thank you to them. Without them, I would not have the majority of this. I would not have the majority of the stuff that I, you know, I am painting and reviewing. So I really thank them for that. I think my brush is okay. I don't know. It's looking a little bad. But we'll see. So yeah, without them, I would not be able to get all of the great stuff that I review and look at every day with you guys. So I want to give a shout out to them. Please support them. Please let them know you're out there. And if you can, grab something from them. That would be amazing. They ship anywhere in the United States. You can also check out my website, my Patreon, and the Tip/Donation button. That monetary support is a big deal. It's how I can continue to do this and upgrade my equipment and what I want to offer you guys. And if we have enough backers and monetary folks out there, eventually I can fulfill my dream of doing this on a more full-time basis for you all. So you guys can see me do more painting, more elaborate projects, and eventually get to my full goal, which is to do complete battle reports and true reviews of products as they come out. So you guys can see the newest and greatest in gaming out there in the world. Thank you all for watching again, and I'll see you at the next video. Tomorrow, we'll be back, and I'll be doing actually some custom models from Lexicon Miniatures, so you guys can see a little bit of the Cheshire Cat I was doing. But there is a homebrew D&D campaign, and I got some really cool models that were available for that, and it's going to be a mashup of essentially like Grimm's Fairy Tales and Disney characters that you can see. There's some slightly different takes on characters, some more adult takes. This was the Alice I painted up in the last stream. So we're going to be painting up these models next time. That'll be tomorrow. My hope is to start around 10 o'clock. So like I said, if you want to know when we're live, sign up for those notifications and for the channel. All right, I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, and thank you for watching. And as always, stay cool, stay swifty, as Morty and Rick would say, and keep painting and keep being creative. And I cannot wait to hear and see you guys for some more tips and tricks. All right, take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.